Okay, I'm back. Um, so there's been a drastic change here in this 35 coupe rat rod. The car came back to me. I originally bought the car and I gave it to Nate, and then he was to build the car. Well, I wound back up with it. Any of you car guys that are married, you know exactly what happened. So we don't need to go into it. But anyways, I've got it. So what I did was I put it up on the rotisserie. I made these adapters. I don't have enough room to get back here to show you everything, but I made these adapters. This is a homemade rotisserie. And originally it was an old diesel engine stand. And what's great about it is you can crank this thing. You can move that body ever how you want, and you do it with ease. It's not hard, you know. You can actually turn it and get it right back where it needs to go. So I made these adapters. It took me, I went over to Mark Keegan's. He's the Iowa Hall of Fame sprint car guy. I've known him and his brother Larry for a long time. And, you know, he's a very nice guy. He has a shop, so I go over there and I get all this metal. These cut-offs and used metal and stuff. So I built this rotisserie, you know. And originally we did this floor this way to give it support. And I put these pieces in. See, reinforced all this in here. Put these pieces in here all the way back. And, you know, that's why this car can go on a rotisserie. I bought this car off of a guy named Rich McKnight. And Rich put all these pieces in. This is what they call the sub rail on these cars, because these cars are basically, they have to have the frame for the body support. But when you do it right, and Rich knew what he was doing, then I welded in here the quarter panels. I welded all that solid to these subframe. So that's why this body, you can put it on a rotisserie. And then up here, I took and welded. You can see all the penetration from the weld on the other side. I weld, and then plus where these door posts are at, I reinforced all those, and you can see right there, that's part of the reinforcement right there. And I made these front adapters. Let me see if I can get back here. I don't have much room in here right now because I got the frame in here, but I made that front adapter, and it's nice. But anyways, another thing I wanted to show you was Nate. Okay, Nate welded all these, most of this sheet metal, he welded this solid. But he welded it over on the other side. And you can see here the penetration, how that weld came all the way through. And that's what you're looking for. I've been welding 46 years. And I've welded some heavy stuff. And this is the first time Nate's ever welded sheet metal. And he did a really excellent job. Everywhere where he welded, you can see this penetration. There's one little spot right here where you can't see it, but boy, oh boy, he really did a good job. So hats off to Nate, because he is a welder. But you can see, like, you know, welds, sometimes they're pretty, sometimes they aren't. Now here's another example. I did this. This is all penetration from the other side. You know, when you got it all the way through like that, you got good welds. They're solid. So anyways, I just thought I'd do a little something here. So I'm going to take, the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to sandblast this whole body. I'm going to sandblast the inside, the outside, the floors, get everything, you know, blasted up, and just really, you know, get this thing right. And eventually I'm going to put the patch panels on it too, like this back one here. I'm going to put the quarter panel patches on it up here. These ones right here. I'm going to patch the bottom of the doors. and then fix this, what they call the cowl feet. I'm going to fix all that up in here, which is typical. 99% of these cars, you got to fix all this stuff. You know, like you can see a hole in the door there. You got to fix all that. But when you're done doing it, though, you got a pretty nice car. And any car that you can put on a rotisserie like this, it's a solid body, because otherwise it would collapse. But I can show you here. We're going to turn this back right side up. I love this rotisserie. This thing, I got it with that yellow 68 Camaro, and I did that car on it. Then I made these adapters, because see, it's just a square plate here. It's just a square plate, and it's got all these slotted holes. So it's got them this way, got them on the bottom. This was an old diesel engine stand, the front and the back, because these diesels that were on this, I don't know if they're industrial equipment or semis or what it was, but it's heavy duty. And you bolted the diesel, the back of it on, you bolted the front on, then you could turn the thing in circles. So it's got a pretty nice worm gear setup. I got it all covered up with tape and plastics for sandblasting. But it's got a pretty nice worm gear system in it, and it don't take much to turn it. Every car I've ever had on it, it's not really a challenge for it. So I just thought I'd show you here. This is this car is stout. It's solid, because most of these old cars like this, you cannot put them on rotisseries. But see, that's how I had all the subframe. It's almost like a unibody, really. The only thing, it doesn't have any supports up on the floor, but back all in the trunk and all the way up through there, it's got that sub rail that's all 1/16 of an inch or better. I don't know what the gauge is, but anyways, it's going to be a total new animal once we're done blasting everything, getting it all in primer. Going to put it in epoxy primer, and then we're going to paint the underside of it with probably satin black urethane, paint the inside of it, and then just leave the outside just in primer, because there's a lot of work's got to be done. We'll grind off wherever we got to do patch panels and stuff like that. So, but anyways, I just thought I'd give you a little view. We're going to do the firewall, get all that done. So the old coupe, she's coming along. And I'm going to build a gasser, a big block gasser is what I'm going to do. I've always wanted one. I've never really had the opportunity to do it. Now I have the opportunity, because here sits the car, so that's what I'm going to do. And then, of course, this is mumble jumbled here, but there's the chassis for it. I got all this stuff in here I got to move around. But this next thing on the chassis is where this 2x5, we're going to take these factory cross braces out. We're going to put 2x5 right up against those, and then we're going to box everything forward on it. Box all that. I'm going to do it. And then I think this is a 40 frame, so I think this deal here, Rich was telling me you take that top plate out and you put another one in, then you can put a big block right in here with an automatic transmission. So, and this has that 9-inch in it, you know, so it's coming along. It's going to be a stout car when it's done. We're going to be able to stand it up on the back wheels and not have any problems. All right, for now, this is it, and then I'll do some more later. All right, bye.